He was hacked. Not the kind of hacking people laughed about online, the kind that ruined a life overnight. Marcus Hale, once a rising freelance cybersecurity wizard, woke up to find every contract he had ever worked on leaked, his reputation shredded, his accounts drained, and his inbox overflowing with hate mail from clients who believed he was the one who betrayed them. It had taken someone less than 10 minutes to destroy the career he had built in 12 years. Marcus sat alone in his dim apartment, the blinds half closed as if even light didn't want to intrude on the wreckage of his life. His laptop was open, mocking him with lines of corrupted code, evidence of the breach he couldn't trace. Whoever had done this was better than him. Cleaner, colder. He hadn't eaten in a day. Maybe 2. Time blurred when the world collapsed. A soft knock broke the silence. Knock, knock, knock. He frowned. He hadn't ordered anything. Actually, he couldn't have. His bank accounts were frozen. Who is it? He called, not moving from his chair. Pizza delivery. A cheerful voice sang. A girl's voice. Bright, warm, too alive for the stale gloom of his apartment. I didn't order pizza, he muttered. There was a pause. Well, someone did. For this address. Paid and tipped online. Marcus hesitated. No one sent him things. No one cared enough to. But his stomach tightened painfully, and against his better judgment, he stood and opened the door. She stood there. Red cap, insulated bag slung over one shoulder, and green eyes that sparkled like she knew secrets no one should know. Her smile was soft, nothing like the world he'd been drowning in. Hi, she said. Pizza for Marcus. He swallowed. Yeah, that's me. Great. She handed him the warm box. Hope you like pepperoni. Or, well, if you don't, pretend you do. It makes people happy. She grinned as if that logic made perfect sense. He blinked at her, not sure what to make of her energy. Do you know who ordered this? Nope, she said too quickly. Then she looked him over, the shadowed eyes, the weary posture. Rough day. He laughed, bitter. Something like that. Want to talk about it? She asked. I'm a good listener. Comes with the job. People tell pizza delivery drivers everything. You're serious. Completely. He should have closed the door. Should have thanked her and retreated to silence. But something about her, her warmth, her steady gaze, made the loneliness inside him crack just enough to let her in. Fine, he murmured, but I don't have money to tip you or anything. She waved him off. Don't need money. I'm off shift. Consider me a volunteer therapist with carbs. He let out a small, unexpected laugh. And for the first time in 2 days, someone stepped into his world rather than out of it. Her name was Lena. She sat on the other side of his messy table, legs crossed, picking at the pizza while he told her everything, how the attack hit him out of nowhere, how every trace led to dead ends, how the world seemed to move on without him while he stayed stuck in ruins. I used to think I was untouchable, he muttered. Now I can't even fix the mess. She tilted her head. Everyone can be touched, but not everyone gets back up. He looked at her. You don't even know me. True, she said with a shrug. But I know broken. And you're not broken. You're angry, hurt, but not destroyed. He felt something shift in his chest. Something unfamiliar. Hope, maybe. Why are you doing this? He whispered. Lena's smile faded into something gentler. Because someone once helped me when I thought I'd lost everything. I guess I want to return the favor to someone else, someone who looks like they've forgotten they matter. Silence stretched between them, not uncomfortable, just honest. Minutes turned into an hour. An hour into 2, and Marcus found himself talking. Really talking. She listened like it was the most important thing in the world. She laughed at his jokes. She challenged his despair. She slowly stitched pieces of him back together with nothing more than presence and pizza. By midnight, the apartment felt warmer. Or maybe he did. Then her phone buzzed. She glanced at it and her expression changed. Soft confidence replaced by something sharper, focused. I should go, she said, standing. Wait, he blurted. Will I see you again? She hesitated at the door, her back to him. Then she said lightly, yeah. I think you will. But just as she left, he caught a glimpse of her phone screen, only for a second but enough to freeze him. A username. A tag. A string of characters burned into his nightmares for the past 48 hours. The hacker's signature. The one who ruined him. Why was it on her phone? The next day, she returned. He had barely slept, his mind at war. Was she involved? Was she bait? A spy? Yet when she walked in, she carried no darkness with her. Only light. Still, he couldn't shake the truth he'd seen. So he confronted her. Lena, why was the hacker's signature on your phone? Her breath caught. Her smile vanished. And her expression changed. For the first time since he met her, she looked dangerous. Not cruel. Not malicious. Just honest. Because, she said quietly, I know who hacked you. The room felt smaller, colder. Are you working with them? He asked, voice raw. No, she said firmly. Working against them. He stared at her, confusion twisting. She closed the door behind her and stepped closer. My brother, she whispered, used to be like you. Brilliant, kind, but he trusted the wrong people. They destroyed him. The hacker who ruined him, it's the same one who came after you. I've been tracking them ever since. Her eyes shimmered, pain flickering behind the strength. And when I traced their last activity, she inhaled shakily. It led to you. I knew if I didn't intervene, you'd become the next ghost on their list. He sank into a chair, stunned. Why didn't you just tell me? Because people who've been hurt don't trust easily, she murmured. And you looked like you needed a person before you needed a programmer. He stared at her, heartbeat uneven. So, you want to help me fight back? Her lips curved into a fierce, determined smile. No, I want us to burn them down together. Something in him awakened. Something angry, alive, and no longer afraid. For the next 12 days, they worked side by side. She wasn't a programmer, but she was everything else he needed, patient, sharp, intuitive. She spotted patterns he overlooked. She asked questions that cracked open problems he thought unsolvable. And between lines of code and cups of terrible instant coffee, something else formed between them. A bond, a spark, an understanding deeper than comfort and sharper than grief. He began to smile again. She began to hope again. And revenge, for both of them, became something almost beautiful when shared. When they finally traced the hacker, the ghost behind the ruin, it wasn't with fury in their veins, but determination. Marcus looked at Lena. Lena looked at him. No words needed. Together, they sent justice roaring back through the wires. And when it was over, when the hacker was exposed and his name cleared, Marcus didn't feel triumphant. He felt grateful, because destruction had brought him someone he never expected. A pizza delivery girl who wasn't just a girl. Who wasn't just a stranger. Who became the reason he stood back up. Lena stepped closer, brushing a hand against his cheek. Still think, you're destroyed, she whispered. He shook his head slowly. Not anymore. Their lips met softly, revenge in the background, love in the foreground, healing in every breath. And in that moment, Marcus knew. He had been hacked. He had been ruined. But he had also been found. And sometimes the universe breaks you only so the right person can walk through the pieces. The girl with the pizza. The girl with secrets. The girl who chose to fight beside him. Love x revenge. Where destruction ends, and destiny begins.